Welcome to Smart Biology Hub. Today, we're diving into the amazing world of cells, the building blocks of all living things. Imagine a giant Lego castle. It's made of thousands of tiny bricks, right? Well, living things like plants, animals, and even you are made of tiny units called cells. They're so small you need a powerful microscope to see them. But together, they build everything from the tallest tree to the smallest insect. So, who discovered these incredible little structures? Back in the 1600s, a scientist named Robert Hooke was looking at a thin slice of cork under a microscope. He saw tiny, box-like compartments that reminded him of the small rooms monks lived in, which were called cells. And that's how they got their name. A little later, another scientist, Antony van Leeuwenhoek, built even better microscopes and was the first to see living cells, like bacteria, wiggling around in a drop of water. It was a revolutionary discovery that opened up a whole new universe. These early discoveries led to something called the cell theory, which is a cornerstone of biology. It has three main ideas. First, all living organisms are made of one or more cells. Second, the cell is the most basic unit of life. And third, all cells come from pre-existing cells. This means cells don't just magically appear, they divide and multiply to create new ones. Think about it, you've started as just one single cell. Now, not all cells are the same. There are two main types, prokaryotic and eukaryotic. That sounds complicated, but it's pretty simple. Prokaryotic cells are like a studio apartment. Everything is in one open space. They don't have a nucleus or other membrane-bound organelles. Bacteria are a great example of prokaryotes. They're simple, but incredibly successful. Eukaryotic cells, on the other hand, are like a big house with many different rooms. They have a special room called the nucleus, which holds all the genetic information, or DNA. Cells, plant cells, and animal cells are all eukaryotic. These cells are much more complex and have lots of specialized compartments, called organelles that do specific jobs, just like different rooms in a house have different purposes. Let's take a closer look inside a typical animal cell, like one of yours. The outer boundary is the cell membrane. It acts like a gatekeeper, controlling what comes in and out of the cell. Inside you have the cytoplasm, a jelly-like substance that fills the cell and holds everything in place. Floating in the cytoplasm is the nucleus, the cell's command center. It contains your DNA, the blueprint for everything your body does. Then we have the mitochondria, the powerhouses of the cell. They take the food you eat and turn it into energy that the cell can use. It's like a tiny power plant. We also have ribosomes, which are like little factories that build proteins. Proteins are essential for almost everything the cell does. And let's not forget the endoplasmic reticulum and Golgi apparatus, which help process and package these proteins, getting them ready to be sent where they are needed. It's like a cellular postal service. Now, let's switch over to plant cells. They have most of the same organelles as animal cells, like a nucleus, mitochondria, and ribosomes, but they also have a few extra features that make them unique. If the plant doesn't get enough water, the vacuole shrinks, and the plant wilts. So, let's quickly recap the main differences. Animal cells are typically round or irregular in shape and only have a cell membrane. Plant cells are more rectangular and have both a cell membrane and a rigid cell wall. Plant cells also have chloroplasts to make their own food and a large central vacuole to store water, while animal cells don't have these. Cells are not just randomly floating around, they are organized. In multicellular organisms like us, similar cells group together to form tissues. For example, Muscle cells form muscle tissue, and nerve cells form nerve tissue. Different tissues then work together to form organs, like your heart, lungs, or stomach. And organs work together in organ systems, like your digestive system or circulatory system. It's an incredible hierarchy of organization, all starting from that one tiny cell. Themes. Even single-celled organisms are amazing. Bacteria, for instance, can live in almost any environment, from boiling hot springs to the freezing Arctic. Scientists are constantly learning more about how cells work, how they communicate with each other, and what happens when they go wrong, which can lead to diseases. They are the true superheroes of the biological world, performing countless complex tasks every second to keep life going.